guys, good morning. Today's lesson is like a continuation of what we did previously. I talked about countable and uncountable nouns, but I just forgot to add one more point, which is connected to the use of how much and how many in depth details. So yeah, I just thought of doing that. Look at this sentence. There are 5 students in the class. What does that mean? It means that there are only 5 students. So this is the number. If you want to make a question, what we need to do, we need to start with how many. How many? Why how many? Because okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, I just want to apologize for what's happening right now because you guys might hear some natural interruptions. You know, I can't help it. I just want to apologize. All right. Okay, so let's go back to the lesson. So in here, we used how many. Why how many? Because we have a number which is countable. Meaning that when it comes to countable nouns, we can start the question with how many. So it will be how many students in the class. Okay, so this is what you need to remember. Now let's look at the second question or the second example. The second example, right, in here we have how many packets of rice do you want? Why we used how many? We used how many because we have packets, and packets is something that you can count. You can tell how many do you want. Do you want only one packet? You want 2, 3, 4? How many? So when it comes to countable, we start the question with how many. And the same thing goes with how many cups of coffee do you want? How many plates do you want? How many children have you got? How many students in the classroom? How many places did you visit lately? So basically, like, you can use how many to talk about something that happened in the past or the present. It is fine. How is that possible? Let's look at those 2 examples. If you want to talk about something that happened in the past, all right, you can say how many places did you visit? How many places? So here we have how many followed with places. Why? Because places is something that you can count. You can tell if you visited like 2 places, 3 places, 4 places. So how can we answer? We can answer saying that I visited maybe 3 places. So here, 3 here is something that you can count. That's why we use how many. The same thing if you want to use how many to talk about the future. So in this case, you can simply say how many places will you visit next week? Or you can, if you don't want to use well, you can simply say how many places are you How many places are you going to visit? How many places are you going to visit? So basically, you can use how many, right, to talk about something that happened in the past or that will happen in the future or that happens regularly. When it comes to regular things, you can say, for example, how many times do you go to the shopping mall in a month? So in here we are talking about how many times do you, so we are using simple present to talk about the shopping mall. Like how many times do you go to the shopping mall in a month? So in here, in a month, here is a time expression. As I mentioned, time expression in one of the previous videos, but I will link that video in the comments. I mean, I will link that video in the description box, as well as you will see it in the video itself. So in here, right, because we have in a month, so the meaning of the question is connected with something that happens every month. So that's why we can use simple present. All right. So yeah, so basically we use how many to talk about something that you can count. All right. Now let's move into the next part, which is using questions with uncountable nouns. I mentioned in the previous tutorial video that we use how much to talk about something that we can't count. So you have to remember that. This is for uncountable. So uncountable means something that you can't count. It is not possible to count. All right. So how can we use that? How can we make questions, or how can we form questions with something that you can't count? What we need to do is that we need to start with how much. How much? So this is the only thing that you need to do. Now let's look at this question. Let's say you want to add some sugar into your coffee or your tea. So the question will be, how much sugar would you like to have in your, how much sugar would you like to have in your cup of tea? So in here we have how much, and then we used the noun. How much sugar would you like to have in your cup of tea? So the answer can be like, I would like to have half a spoon, because the answer can be like half spoon, or maybe 1 spoon, or it can be 2 spoons. It depends. All right, so it depends on how much sugar would you like to have. Okay, now let's look at, okay, before going into the second example, like why we with sugar, why we use how much? Because sugar is uncountable. It is so hard to count the pieces of sugar that we have. Therefore, we use how much. Okay, now let's look at the next question or the next example. So let's say, for example, so usually, yeah, and regarding the money, guys, there are so many people who get confused about the money. They simply say, how many money do you want? Which is actually wrong. Why? Because money is uncountable. All right. So in this case, when it comes to asking a question about the money, we will say, how much money do you want? How much money maybe do you want? Or how much money do you need to repair your car? So in here, we are asking about something that is connected with money, all right? And still, we are using simple present. Basically, it is fine if you want to use simple past to talk about something that you did before. So if you want to talk about previous actions, you can simply say, how much money did you need to repair your car? And it is the same thing. All right. So basically what you need to do is that, so basically what you need to focus on is the question, like, do you need to use how much or how many? So we use how much to talk about something that is uncountable, but we use how many to talk about something that you can count. All right. So basically, these are the things that you need to know. And regarding the negative part, I talked about that in the previous tutorial video. It's like if the answer is no, then you will simply say I don't have any. And if the answer is yes, then you can say I have some. Like, okay, let me just explain it to you because you might get confused and wonder, like, what am I talking about? So let's say, for example, the question is about have you got some okay, we don't need to talk about money. Have you got some okay? So if the answer is yes, then you can say yes, I have got some. If the answer is no, then no, I have not got any. So you have to be careful on this, okay? If the answer is yes, then we use some. And if the answer is no, we use any. No, I haven't got any, okay? Or no, I haven't got any, like, the answer is no, then no, I haven't got any cookies in my bag or in my lunch box, for example. All right, but our focus is basically on the negative part, which is no, I haven't. So we use no, and then I haven't got any. So if the answer is negative, make sure to use any. And also, when it comes to the questions, if you are asking about something uncountable, make sure to use any in the question. Like, have you got any I think I have covered everything that has to do with countable and uncountable. But if you have any questions or if there is any point that I did not cover in this lesson, please let me know in the comment section, and I will either make a short tutorial video on it, or I will just explain it to you in the comment sections itself. All right, so I will see you soon with the upcoming lesson. I really hope you managed to understand everything, and if you have any questions, please let me know. And also, if you have any topics that is hard for you to understand, just let me know the name of the topic and I will make a tutorial video on it. All right, so wish you a good day, and I'll see you soon with the upcoming lesson. Bye bye.